What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Today we have Spellcasters for YUGIOH's GOAT format. Got some of the most iconic Spellcasters in the history of the game right here. Before we get started, if you guys like GOAT format, Edison format, Tengu Plan format, Hat format, any of those more niche formats that you guys want to see and that we do already show, subscribe for more. Like the video. Appreciate you. And here we go. We got Spellcasters. 2005 YUGIOH's GOAT format. There isn't a crazy amount of Spellcasters in the card pool yet, but we do have some of the most iconic ones. So we are opting to play best Spellcasters in addition to Dark Magician. That was my one requirement for the deck, was I wanted to play at least 2 copies of Dark Magician. We have some very clean starter deck Yugi copies here. So we're going to be playing 2 of those. The Ultimate Wizard in terms of attack and defense, Dark Magician. I think it's pretty cool to be able to play them in GOAT format. Next up, we have probably the best Spellcaster of the format. We're playing the limited to 1 Breaker, the Magical Warrior. Very splashable in pretty much any deck that wants to play him. He hits the field as a 1900 beater, and then you can remove a spell counter from him to pop a spell or trap. Just a fantastic card. Also being a dark in the format is very relevant because there's a lot of Chaos Monsters running around. Speaking of those Chaos Monsters, we're playing 1 Chaos Sorcerer, probably the second best. No, Magician of Faith is probably second best. Probably the third best Spellcaster in the format. Shit, maybe 4th, Gravefever Spy. There's a lot of good Spellcasters in the format. Gravefever Spy might even be the best one in the format now that I think about it. Let me know down below which one's the best. Alright, next up we have 2 Blast Magician. I'll read this guy because he doesn't see as much play. He says, each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card. You can remove any number of spell counters from this card to destroy 1 face-up monster on the field with attack equal to or less than 700 times the number of spell counters you removed. So he's going to get a spell counter and multiply that by 700. You got to do some math before you start popping monsters. But that's good. We activate a lot of spells and we're playing a lot of spells. Next up, we're playing 2 Magician of Faith. Doesn't have anything to do with spell counters. Let me get the glare out of the way here. But she is going to add back spells, which will contribute to spell counter count. Damn, my OCD's kicking. Sorry, guys. Alright. Next up, we're playing 2 copies of Old Vindictive Magician. This guy has a flip effect that says, flip, destroy 1 monster on the field regardless of position. So that's good. Doesn't have to be just face up. Next up, we are playing some 3-ofs. We're going to be playing 3 Skilled Dark Magicians. This guy is a 1900 beater. And he's a dark, which is really nice. And he says, each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card. When that spell card resolves, that's what it says. Maximum of 3. You contribute this card with 3 spell counters on it, special 1 Dark Magician from your hand, deck, or graveyard. That's why we don't need more than 2 copies, because we can get them out of the graveyard, the hand, or the deck. So that's pretty good. Next up, we have 3 Apprentice Magician. This one says, when this card is successfully normal summon, flip summon, or special summon, place 1 spell counter on a face-up card on the field. So that's going to contribute towards our spell counter strategy that you can put a spell counter on. If this card is destroyed by battle, you select 1 spellcaster type monster level 2 or lower from your deck and special summon on the field and face down defense, which is why we're opting to play the Magician of Faiths and the Old Vindictives at 2 each, because this is a nice little engine here. This is going to be monster removal, and this is going to be spell recurrent. So for the final 4 monsters of the deck, we're playing 3 Royal Magic Library and 1 BLS. You know what BLS does. That dude is limited to 1 and an insane card in the format. Royal Magical Library. Every time a spell card is activated, it's going to gain a spell counter, maximum of 3. And then you can remove 3 spell counters from this card to draw a card from your deck. It's got 2000 defense and it's light, so it's going to help contribute toward that chaos count for BLS and Chaos Sorcerer. I think this lineup is pretty solid. If you guys have any changes, let me know down below. I like looking at that. So next, let's get on with the spells and traps. We only have 2 traps in the whole deck. The deck is primarily spells because we are trying to get those spell counters up. So even our defensive stuff in the place of defensive traps. It's going to be defensive spells. So let's take a look at that. First up, we're going to have Trinity. Might as well play the 3 best spells in the whole damn format in a Spellcaster deck. We got Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, and Delinquent Duo. Your phone, your car keys, and your wallet. You can't leave home without them. Next up, we got Snatch Steal. That thing's limited to 1, and we're going to play it. You're going to see a lot of insanely powerful 1-ofs because we're just playing the best spells in the format because we're trying to capitalize on that spell counter, spell interaction, gaining spell counters. So Premature Burial, Swords of Revealing Light even, Lightning Vortex. We're going to be playing Heavy Storm, MST. Just to help the spell count and deck thin, we're playing 2 Upstart Goblin. We're playing 2 Smashing Ground. We're playing 2 Noblemen of Crossout. And defensively, like I said, in the place of like Sakura Armor, Mirror Force, Ring Destruction, we have to have something to be able to stop attacks, right? So we're playing 3 Book of Moon. We have the Turbo Pack Ultra Rares. And that is the spells for the deck. There is not a crazy amount to say about them. If I'm missing any of the best spells in the format that are not right here, or maybe my ratios seem off to you, if there's another way to completely play this deck, let me know down below. I'm always looking to learn. I went through the whole dang card pool for GOAT format and was doing a bunch of theory testing with the cards, and this is what I came up with. So let's get on to the traps. There is only 2 of them. 2 traps to round off this deck profile. The last 2 cards of the deck, we have 2 Pitch Black Power Stones. This card says, after activation, place 3 spell counters on this card. During each of your turns, you can move 1 spell counter from this card to another face-up card that you can place a spell counter on. When there are no spell counters on this card, destroy it. So that's obviously going to help towards our spell counter strategy. And yeah, we're not playing any defensive traps. So that's it. Again, if you guys have any changes, let me know down below. If you guys like the video, subscribe. Helps us out. If you want to see more formats like Edison, Tengu, Plants, Hat format, Toss format, Teledad, shoot, even Glad format back in 2008 when they were on top. We got it all, Card Trooper Monarch. So stay in tune, subscribe for that. And if you guys have any specific formats you guys want to see, let me know. Again, if it's less than 5 years old, I probably won't mess around with it. But as long as the format's at least 5 years old, definitely consider it. Again, like the video. And that is Spellcasters for Yu-Gi-Oh's 2005 GOAT format. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Hope you have a nice one. Peace out.